Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, lovely people. This is Marie Alessi with another Up Spiral Grief interview, and this time I am so delighted. I have the so far youngest interview guest with me, and that is the lovely Sophie Wallis. I'm going to tell a quick story before I get Sophie to introduce yourself. How we actually came to do this interview. I put a shout out there on LinkedIn, I believe. If anybody had something up spiraling or a beautiful positive story to shed on the topic of grief, on the topic of loss. And Sophie's mom, Susan, actually put her hand up and said, I really have a lovely story to tell. Susan and I had a pre-chat, and then we had an interview last week where Susan told her story from her perspective, how you guys have lost your sister, Gracie, Susan's daughter, obviously. And Susan suggested it would be really beautiful to interview you, to invite you, Sophie, as Gracie's sister, and hear your perspective of the whole story. So I am really honored and privileged to have you here. It means so much to me that you agreed to do this. So without further ado, I would love you, Sophie, to introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm the daughter of Susan, and I'm Gracie's sister.
Beautiful. Tell us, if I may ask, with a lady, you have to ask her permission first. How old are you now, Sophie?
I'm 14.
Okay, perfect. So I would love to hear from you. We had a very, very quick pre-chat before we went live on camera, and I would just love to hear a little bit of your story, as in how did you find it, growing up with Gracie. Would you like to share a little bit of the challenges, the highlights, the beautiful memories? I'd really love to hear your perspective on the life with Gracie.
Of course. Gracie is my older sister, and I was always aware that she wasn't normal, which is not the way we like to put it.
Yeah.
But I have known Gracie. I knew Gracie not all of her life, because she was older than me,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was always aware that she was different from some of my friends' older siblings, but she was never lesser, and
That's beautiful.
She means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And some of my favorite memories with Gracie are always happy memories and meaningful times together.
That's really beautiful. What would you guys do together growing up?
She always loved some movies, and especially Frozen, Disney's Frozen. So I always loved sitting in her bed with her and watching that.
Oh, nice. Did you watch both parts?
Oh, we did. I had.
Don't tell anyone, but I actually made my boys watch it too because I loved it so much. Who's your favorite character of Frozen?
I like Olaf. It's very.
Me too. Yes, I'm so glad you're saying that, because usually I get like, oh, Elsa or Anna, but nobody ever says Olaf, and he's my favorite character. Some people are worth melting for. That's my favorite line. That's really beautiful. So, what else did you do together as girls growing up?
This is more of a family memory than just me and Gracie, but
Love it.
Gracie wasn't able to physically chew her food, so she had to have a lot of softer foods, including juice, and she always loved that. So
yeah,
some of my favorite memories also include feeding her chocolate mousse and stuff.
Oh, nice one. Chocolate mousse. Who wouldn't love that? Sophie, do you remember when you were aware that Gracie wouldn't be with you for the rest of your life, basically? Do you remember how old you were, or how your parents told you about that?
My mum was always made me aware that we weren't always going to have Gracie, but she did it in an appropriate way, of course.
That's beautiful.
but there was a certain point about just trying to think about it. There was a certain point less than a year before she passed that I knew that we weren't going to have her for much longer.
Yeah. I know this is a very confronting question for you. How did you cope with finding out about that? That must be very intense at your age to find out that your sister will not be with you forever.
I think I'd like to say I handled it pretty well. I was very young, and I don't think I was able to grasp the severity of the situation.
Yeah.
And I knew, but I didn't fully understand. But I think I handled it okay, and I had other distractions in my life, and I was able to focus on other things instead of worrying about it. I was quite young, so I didn't fully understand.
What was your favorite distraction that you had? What did you like doing?
I liked acting and singing, and I still do.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, your mom told me that you got into that, so that's really incredible. Do you play any instruments?
I do actually. I play a little bit of guitar, but I'm not very good at it.
Awesome. I just really love it because only this morning I actually saw a post about it doesn't really matter if we're good at it or not, as long as we have a go. And there was a really famous guy, pardon me, that I don't remember who it was now, but he was asked in an interview one day if he played the piano. He said, can you play the piano? And he said, I don't know, I haven't tried yet. And I love the answer because you don't know if you can do something until you try it. And the fact that you at least give it a go makes you already a better guitar player than others who don't even try. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Sophie, what do you remember from Gracie's passing? How did you deal with the fact when she did pass over and when you had to go through all these motions and emotions that were going through your family at the time? Do you want to share a little bit about that? As much and as little as you like.
I might share a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
I don't have a lot of memories, more kind of like flashes, like vivid images almost. But I think I handled it pretty well, probably because might be because I didn't understand it fully, but I knew.
Yeah. And I would love to know how your family life changed after Gracie's passing over. What was the first thing that you remember doing as a family of three?
I think my parents and I, we got closer because we had the even closer than we already were because we all had bond. We had our dog. He was helpful, and he was helpful.
What sort of dog have you got?
We have a rescue greyhound.
Oh, nice. I love it. Beautiful. What's his name?
His name's Ziggy.
Oh, that's cute. I love it. Yeah, a love of a dog does help a lot in that situation. I remember when Rob passed, my husband, so the boys were 10 and 8 at the time. And I always thought that we were a very close-knit family, the four of us, and when Rob died, I had a very similar experience to you. I felt that we were even stronger, and an experience like that really brings you so much closer, and the bond is just so incredible. I don't think that anybody who hasn't experienced anything like that can actually understand what that means, the bond and the closeness that you feel and the support that you have for each other when you experience an adversity like that. So as painful as I feel it is to go through something like that, and as a mom, I wish I could have taken that pain away from my boys, but I also see the gift in our bond and the gift that it has brought into our lives that nobody could ever take away from us. And I can see that shine through you as well. And I'm having goosebumps just saying that. It's really incredible. I feel so humbled and honored to have you here and to share that story, because I can only imagine how hard that would be for you to talk about that. So I just want to say thank you that you volunteered to come live with me and share that. What is your absolute favorite memory of Gracie that you constantly think about, or that often pops up in images, or however it pops up for you?
Just being around her, like sitting and watching movies with her, and making her laugh, and she used to laugh at me when I would get in trouble. I was a bit irritated at it at the time, but I'm really grateful that I got have that experience now.
That's really beautiful. So if you can also ask you, do you still feel like, some people feel like that person is still around, or still sort of guides them or sends them messages in a way? Everybody's got very different experiences. Do you feel that at all?
Absolutely.
Do you want to share a little bit?
Please. My mum and I mostly, we get excited when we see signs about that relate to Gracie, like rainbows and butterflies, and a certain card that we used to have for Gracie, and sometimes angel numbers and that kind of, and
beautiful. I want to share that with you. Like when Rob died, I constantly saw the number 126 everywhere all the time, and I had no idea what it meant, and I kept looking it up and thinking, and it stood for change, and really big change. And I thought, well, duh, of course, it's a big change when your husband dies. And I kind of felt a little bit of sarcasm in that message, and still couldn't really relate to it until somebody I knew saw my post about it on Facebook, and she reached out to me and said, well, 126, Marie, that's the 12th of June. And that was the day that Rob passed. And I said, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't see that. And I literally woke up for 4 weeks or longer after Rob passed at 1:26 a.m. every morning, until I got the message, and then it stopped. And then one day, the next day, I woke up at 12:06, and I thought, haha, very funny, sarcasm. I get it now. It's the 12th of June, 12:06, 126. It's the same thing, and it's been following us. Like even the boys see it now all the time, like the clock would be 126, or when we were traveling around the world, we saw 126 at signs on the underground or whatever. It just showed up everywhere. It's really beautiful when you see that. It really gives you that feeling they're still with you and still look after you. And I'm absolutely certain that Gracie would do that with you as well. I have also noticed. Yes, sorry, please go.
I'm sorry. I actually have an experience very, very similar to that. I noticed I constantly kept seeing the number 911 around, or 911 constantly, and I asked my mum about it. She told me that, I didn't realize at the time, but she told me that that was the time that Gracie passed.
Wow.
And now when I see it, I get so happy, and I'm so glad
that is so beautiful. I love that you have that too. I'm just thinking of Shalina. If you're watching this, she's in my group, in our movement, and she had 911 as well as the number that she always saw after her husband died. So it's just really beautiful when we get messages like that. I feel so privileged. I also noticed at the beginning of our conversation that you said when Gracie was, no, is, that you kept saying like is, and I just really love that you really honor that she is still part of your family and always will be. And I also often talk about the hidden gifts in adversity. I'm a very, very big believer that yes, there is pain, and yes, that is sad when somebody dies. However, it always also comes with hidden gifts that we are allowed to discover and unwrap over the time when we process or when we heal that particular adversity, whatever it was that happened in our lives. Have you experienced something like that where you felt like that was a real gift in her passing, even though it was painful, but this is my gift?
Just bringing my family and I becoming closer with that
Yeah,
sort of bond,
yeah,
and just getting constant little signs that she's still with us and stuff like that. That's always been
I love
lovely.
that. That's really beautiful. What do you love doing the most with your family now that your family life has obviously changed as a family of three? What is your favorite thing to do with your family?
Um,
Here's
oh,
the mom in the background, Susan. That's
um,
okay.
my uh my I don't even know how to begin this.
Mhm.
For International Women's Day, we have a scholarship for a disabled woman in Gracie's name, and I present it. And
That's
uh,
incredible.
I also sing the national anthem at the event. And
Wow.
my dad,
Wow. Sorry. Wow.
my dad has played uh, he's played guitar in the background. In My dad has played guitar behind me, I guess.
Yeah.
And mom helps choose, or she help choose? No, oh no, she doesn't help choose, sorry. But she's at the event and she's always very supportive, so she's not in the spotlight as much.
Yeah. No, that's really beautiful. I can only imagine that Gracie would be so proud of you, what you continue to do in her absence to really bring awareness to her life, to who she is in your life, and the role that she plays. I think that is really beautiful. I also heard from your mom how much you have fundraised to be able to do this for at least another 14 years. Incredible. Congratulations. And I'm going to say the same thing to you. I honestly believe that it will go for way longer than just 14 years because this is only the beginning. And I am in absolute awe of you and your family, what you have done and what you are doing. So I still believe we've only seen a fraction of what is yet to come. You are a remarkable young lady. So it's really amazing to see you at such a young age, to have the courage to come in front of camera with me because you didn't even know me. So kudos to you for being here. I'm really, really happy that I had the chance to chat to you. And yeah, if there is anything left to say from your end, is there anything that you feel you would like to leave the audience with in terms of a message about Gracie, a message about life, about living life, about happiness, anything that comes to mind, then please share it with us.
I'd just like to thank you. Thank you for this
Oh,
opportunity, and thank you for having a chat with me. And thank you, thank you.
you are so very welcome. I'm the privileged one here, so I'm just yeah, so happy to share you with my platform and with so many people in our movement. So you were the youngest guest. You did extremely well. Thank you so much for being here. And I bid everyone a fond farewell. Thank you so much for your time, Sophie.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye for now.